So you know I'm paid in full.
What's going on? What's going on? It's another episode of Addicted to Arguing. Like always, I got the Chief. What's going on, man? And my boy, Derrick Keener. What's going on, family?
2 fingers like a player.
Man, come on.
Yeah.
It was an eventful week, guys. It was an eventful week. If you, I think everybody in the whole United States gathered around their TV for a fight. It was crystal clear. Mike Tyson looked like an animal, a savage. He took care of business, knocked out Jake Paul.
Very animalistic indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No clothes.
Mike showed his ass just not to show his ass.
Natural as it got.
No, I think what I was describing is what I was hoping would happen, and it definitely did not happen.
It was about to happen.
Was it?
Oh, I don't know if you paid attention. That first couple of punches Mike threw, Jake went back.
He did. There was that one where he like flailed.
Yeah, because
So
Mike...
do you think he took off the gas? You think it's rigged?
Oh, 100%.
What do you think, bro?
Yes, it's rigged. I think literally, and
He played it good. He looked like an old ass, terrified man that was in a bind.
I don't know if they put the contract out there to the public, and they probably didn't, but I would assume that somewhere in those
That's right.
contract guidelines it says if you knock Jake Paul out, you're not getting paid.
I heard that. Seriously, that's the first time I've heard
That's just my theory, my thoughts. Like,
So there's in neither one of y'all's mind is there any thought of Tyson went out there, maybe his knee wasn't all the way right. He really didn't look like he had his legs under him. You think that he dialed that shit back on purpose?
You ever been to a strip club?
No, I actually haven't.
You haven't? Have you ever been to a strip club?
I know he been to a strip club.
yeah, I've been sure.
Hey, man, let me ask you something. You think them girls really like you?
My problem always was I really did. But my problem also was I was broke, so they wasn't getting shit out of me regardless.
Hey, but guess what?
I would just go.
Chief look like he tells strippers that he'll change their life.
Yeah, you just might.
I'd more so just be like, hey, you can't go home with me. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Hey, man.
I need some counseling.
To me, this is what it was. It was a strip club deal, which was, I'm going to sell you the fantasy. No. I just want my money. I'm going to sell you the fantasy. That's what Mike did, man. Mike Tyson, he pulled back on punches. He bit his glove because he was trying not to bite Jake.
Probably, bro.
That's what this was, man.
Yeah.
He wanted to bite Jake. And he kept reminding himself, Mike, you're doing this for the money. That's what he's biting his glove. Mike, this is for the money, champ.
Don't kill the Caucasian.
Please don't kill him. Mike didn't throw one uppercut. Do you know Mike's famous for the gut punch and then a half uppercut?
Yeah.
He used to throw that lower left hook to the liver area, and then straight up to your dome.
Hey, dog.
Two left hooks.
But is there not a chance that 58 really is just too old and that Jake is in decent shape, has reach on him?
Jake didn't look good.
I still don't.
Jake did not look good. He looked better. I've seen him look better.
Me too.
Like I was impressed with a couple of fights ago. I was like, he's been training. He looks good. This time, nah, bro.
This was a show.
He was out of shape.
He knew not to piss Mike off. You hit Mike hard enough, Mike's gonna forget the contract. Mike is gonna
I think that's what everybody's
saying. Like when he stepped on his toe and he slapped shit out of him.
Guess what? That was real.
Yeah, I believe that.
That was real. Mike had been said in the interview, I got bad feet. Don't step on them. Yo, he accidentally stepped on that man's feet.
Yeah, he didn't like
Mike,
that shit.
Yo, was that the same Mike that was in the ring?
Definitely didn't look like. And I will say the training videos definitely didn't line up with what we got.
And there was nothing wrong with that man's knee.
Why do we keep... So here's my question. Why do we keep... So did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah. Do you watch it?
Yeah,
did y'all also have buffering problems too? We'll get to that in a minute.
No, I fell asleep pre-fight, and so I woke up, and before I checked any social media, I went and...
Oh, well, that's different. That's different.
How's that
Everybody watch it.
I didn't get no buffering.
It was crashing.
I didn't get any buffering.
Oh, yeah, no.
Crashing.
My girl tried to watch it live, and she couldn't.
Oh, yeah. It was awful.
Oh, I watched it live.
So my question is, why... Like, did both of y'all... Is that exactly what y'all thought was going to happen?
I thought Jake would win. I didn't think it was going to go the distance. I thought Jake would win by a technical knockout. For one, I knew Mike Tyson wasn't going to get knocked out by Jake, and I knew Mike wasn't going to knock Jake out because Jake has something he's trying to build. He's going to make sure that doesn't get destroyed. Mike Tyson has a legacy that's already built. Mm-hmm. Even Jake wants to make sure that doesn't get destroyed.
That's right.
So I knew neither of them were going to get knocked out cold, but what I figured was Jake would put enough punches on him to where the ref would just be like, Mike's old, let's call it. And it would be kind of like that was my assumption. That's why I posted on your shit, 1K to win 23. No, I did not bet $1,000 on that shit. But that's what I wanted to bet.
So, but there's people out there, like, why do we keep falling for the Jake Paul hype? Like, I feel like...
I don't think you're falling for it. I think it's just a good show.
It's a gimmick. It's like a good...
At this point, people just want to see him lose. And that's going to be what sells his tickets every time.
But dog, you watch Love is Blind. You said that last week, don't you?
Well, I mean, just when it's on. I don't ever just go search it now.
Hey, man, I never go search for Jake Paul, but when he on...
yeah, he's on. Yeah, I got you.
He made sure he didn't do it on John Bones Jones night.
Yeah. Did y'all see that fight?
Oh, man. Bones is the man.
I didn't know, bro. Again, I'm in this horrible work schedule where I fall asleep literally second to last or third to last fight. Where I always miss the last one.
Where you bootlegging it?
Yeah.
I've been watching them on TikTok because people will go live, and I just scroll between 2 or 3 people.
Just buy a Fire Stick that's jailbroken.
I need to do that.
How much is that?
You get the fights?
$80.
$80.
Live UFC fights?
So I pay $35 a month for my cable too. I get everything. There's nothing.
Like all the streaming, all the sites too.
Everything.
Oh shit!
Like every NFL football game.
Are we admitting to a crime on camera right now at this point?
Not sure.
The only person angry is Dana White. Dana White.
Not sure, but I do it.
Yeah, I definitely am not paying for a UFC fight though, but I do not miss UFC fights. I'll just put it like that.
$35 a month for every movie channel, porn, doesn't matter.
Porn.
Yeah, but I'd rather watch it on my phone. I don't like the ones on TV. Like, I can't go back and rewind and all that stuff.
Something about watching the porn on TV instead of your phone just
seems dirty.
Diabolical.
Oh, it is.
It's like you're like amplifying the risk too of getting caught. Like, it needs to be like a more private deal. Yeah.
But y'all don't understand. When we were growing up, we had to take them risks. Yeah, man, I'll never forget my daddy came home when I was the only VCR was in the living room and I'm in there trying to get it. Oh, dog. Hey, Janet Jack me, brother. Her name was Janet Jack me. And she was bad. Fingernails were dirty, but she was fine.
Ooh.
VCRs and nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dog, you got to rewind it to your favorite part, and then your daddy walking in the house unexpected.
Oh my God! Yeah. See, our generation was HBO and Max and all that would play softcore porn.
Yeah, and then you had to put the remote on previous. And you have SpongeBob playing.
Right.
Literally SpongeBob.
And if you hear any noise at the floor creak,
you fart yourself, and you're
like, oh, what the fuck was that? Yeah.
Y'all are funny.
Yeah, you just pretend like you're just sitting there sweating, watching SpongeBob for no reason at midnight.
Just watching cops.
Hey, you want to know something? You want to know what looked worse than Mike Tyson on Friday night?
What's that?
Martin Lawrence.
Uh-oh.
I went and saw Martin in Dallas. Martin, great actor.
How bad was this?
It looked like the Jake Paul fight.
Oh, no.
Martin looked like Tyson up there. I'm not kidding.
If Tyson was acting, he acted his ass off, though. I will say that.
That's so sad.
Yeah, but he was. Yo, dog, you got to believe this mofo was acting. You saw the training. Dog, he didn't throw none of them training punches.
No. Okay, if we're going back to this, so look, I don't even like putting his business out there, but I watched a man that's 73 years old knock out a very healthy 40-year-old. And I'm talking about cold.
I watched a 62-year-old man the other day run a 10-600.
What?
Brother, he was moving.
10-600.
He was beating some black dudes.
Damn.
He was moving.
That's like high school state champs.
62-year-old.
Track records.
Hey, dog, he was moving. And listen, and I'm telling you 10-6, it might have been 10-2. And I say 10-6 just to keep my story.
10-2, that's like Olympic fast, ain't it?
I think Mike Tyson, until he has some type of physical disability, like a disease, like something.
Yeah, but he did get real sick not too long because the fight didn't happen when it was supposed to. This was already
all I did was typed in 62 year and it says runs a 10-6.
It's insane.
That is wild.
How? But
So there's no chance Mike Tyson's knee was hurt. He'd been getting over sick, all that stuff. We're deciding here tonight. It was rigged.
Yes.
big rigged, brother.
Okay.
I mean, just okay. What's the point of not rigging it, but having the contracts the way the contract is?
What we got?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I didn't mean to do you like that, but I was going to show you this old dude running a 10-6. I know it's not good podcasting, but
No, you're good. You're good. Look at it. Oh no, he fast.
dog, he moving. You see him whooping that young black
white?
dude?
Is he white?
Yes, and he is stepping.
Did y'all like it?
Oh my
he
God.
is stepping.
No,
He got cyber legs.
yeah.
Brother.
He got Tesla
He got
legs.
the Neuralink. He got the
yeah, dog. Is he
Cyberpunk.
white?
He
He
white.
beat a young black dude. I know that.
He's got to be mixed. He's
Yeah.
mixed.
Ain't no white dude doing
He's
that.
mixed.
He's
Who
like,
got AR? Sorry.
All right, so Martin Lawrence, you was there. My bad. We didn't cut you off. I think
Martin
got distracted.
Martin was on stage and said, "Did it look like the man who had a stroke?" And I was like, it actually does.
So he did have you think he had a stroke?
Nope, I don't think he had a stroke.
Okay.
Everybody thinks he does because words are slurring. You know, Martin's motor skills aren't there. Well, I think he's punch drunk. He was a Gold Glove boxer, and I think that over time, you know, it's just come up on him like that.
God. I think that was funny. And the announcer, like not that particular, but hearing the announcers for the Jake Paul fight,
Oh, they were
that was garbage. And
It
then
was horrible.
old boy was struggling. You could tell he done got punched in the head too
Roy
many
Jones
times.
Jr.?
He done got punched in the head too many times.
Roy Jones, like, I don't like Tyson's legs. I don't like it. Roy, shut the fuck up.
Who was the dude commentating that just could not quit dropping metaphors?
Are you talking about the punches and bunches? I was like, wait, don't chill the fuck out.
This is why they're professionals.
Yeah.
My favorite was Rosie Perez. I love her.
Yeah, I was surprised they had like she's just I mean she cool.
She's from Brooklyn. That's
Brooklyn,
why
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all it is. She's
Yeah.
from Brooklyn. She's a round the way girl, and you know her and Tyson about the same age. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
just like her from White Men Can't Jump.
She was in Pineapple Express too. She was the cop.
But she showed her titties in White Men Can't
Oh,
Jump.
that make it better.
Oh, you ain't never seen a prettier titty. Oh man.
A singular titty or both?
Rose, oh
We
man.
like the titties.
Oh, Rosie
We
was
like
on
a
that
lot.
bed and she said, "Come on, Billy, I want to fuck." Billy,
Oh, that
just
was-
ain't make love.
That was his girl.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
The one who kept getting mad at him.
that's right. Billy, you keep doing, and dog, she sounds like Mike Tyson. Or at least I'm sounding like Mike Tyson, trying to sound like her. Billy, come on, I want. I think that's Mike Tyson. but-
greatest.
Any of y'all see the remake of White Man Can't Jump?
No, I didn't know they had one.
Got Jack Harlow in it.
No, I don't think I want to watch it.
I think they ruin these movies.
Some of them they do.
Some shit just don't need to be remade.
Lot of
How do we
it.
feel about LeBron James and Space Jam 2?
I actually liked it.
You liked it? What do you think? Did you see it?
Never watched it.
It's all right.
I watched both Space Jams. I was a teenager when the first one came out. As an adult on this second time, I liked them both. Neither guy can act. Mike or LeBron, they the greatest at something, but a damn sure ain't
Yeah,
acting.
nah, not acting.
No, it's not acting.
Yeah, LeBron kind of stiff.
But I do like. I mean, the movie is for kids, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, square business.
You know they're remaking Wizard of Oz.
Oh, they gonna fuck that shit up.
There's no way they can get that.
Let's
good.
talk.
Sure.
Well, it ain't early enough to argue, but but do y'all think like when they go back and they're recasting these deals, do you think they're going out of their way to make it like ultra inclusive?
Like woke?
And so what are y'all
Yes.
what are y'all's thoughts on this?
You mean like
you
woke?
like it? You love it? You hate it? Is it weird? Is it normal? Is it overcorrection? What do we got here?
Explain further. What do you mean?
Well, just look at anything cast nowadays. Like there is no
Oh yeah.
I mean, to be real,
Like they're trying to make
I
everything
can't tell
about
if
the
it
movie
really is like progress or if it's like an overcorrection. That's my honest opinion. I really can't tell
That's a good ass question.
because sometimes it feels like so like for a long time we had like black shows, white shows,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And now there is no black shows or white shows. But sometimes sometimes it feels unrealistic, like they throw in these characters It's like they're checking in boxes. Like it just doesn't feel like real life. Yeah, it just feels like because they got to have they have like one gay dude and they have like one like good luck watching a new show without gay people. And there's nothing against gay people. I'm just saying, like, bro, I don't want to watch
you kiss.
Yeah,
no, bro, you will notice this on commercials more than anything. And I figured this out because I just got YouTube TV and I'm back on the commercial thing. And I'm like, okay, I hate commercials. It is like, you explained it really well. It's like a checklist.
Yeah,
it's like, okay,
like gay.
It's like, okay, we got a black guy in there. We got a black woman in there. We have any form of Asian, and we got some gay, and we got some lesbian.
So, let me ask you this here. Have you ever looked at a show and thought it was just too damn white?
Fuck yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah. Definitely.
So if you looked at a show and thought it was just too damn white,
and it's usually the time that it came,
right? So now, is it overcorrection? Maybe.
Yeah.
Because the old shit wasn't realistic either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But there's shows that you would watch and be like, yeah, this is definitely a black show. Like
Martin.
Like Martin.
Cosby Show.
The Wayans Brothers. Like
the Wayans Brothers. Even though in their, you take the Wayans Brothers, in the newsstand shop, you had everybody in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but the main characters, you take, Eddie Murphy was the first person to really do this. You guys ever seen Boomerang?
Mm.
All black cast.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, Chris Rock's first, no, it's his second movie because he did 48 Hours, but Beverly Hills Cops with Eddie Murphy. All black cast. Eddie Murphy was the head of like a marketing company. There was no violence. It was just love and just like just a straight movie. Just black people, they're in business. White people are like, it's not gonna work. There's just,
damn. Yeah,
I swear to God, like
yeah.
so
I believe it though.
It was almost like you had to overly black it or overly Hispanic, whatever it was, and that's just because everything was so white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they had the Oscars. What was it called? Oscars So White. Have y'all heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
I don't think I've ever
black
watched
people don't win them.
I've never watched Oscars.
Black people weren't winning. Asians weren't winning. Hispanics weren't winning. White men were winning. And for a long time. Like, we still hold on. We be like, man, a black dude won this time. It's still exciting to us.
Right.
Mm.
We like, damn, we don't get to see that. The best actor? How many times should Denzel have won it?
Oh, yeah. Denzel's a GOAT.
Not that he has to win it every time.
But somewhere in there.
Denzel's probably my favorite. If not favorite, top 3.
Will Smith has done some shit that's like, damn, that didn't win nothing. Like,
Will Smith should have. It's several people, right? You got Sidney Poitier won, and it. I think from the time Sidney Poitier won back in the 60s or 70s, it took until the 2000s for another black dude to win.
Mm. So that's my question. So like, in a way, it feels like sometimes they're just like shoving these characters in, but like you're saying, there was a time, and I've definitely heard the argument before of like black actors talking about like, I didn't see anybody that like represented me on TV. I mean, that's big. Like,
yeah,
it is.
It's big.
But on the other hand, like every show, like if you tell me a new show's coming out, I can list you the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can list you the characters
because we know that it's gonna be inclusive.
Yeah,
they're gonna include people, and it pisses me off because some of my favorite shows end up. I'm not just gay. First off, if you're gay, okay, that's fine. Like that's. Damn, I don't want to watch y'all kiss or make love on TV. I don't like to watch two men. That's just a personal deal. And so if it has to be included in my show, I just won't watch the show.
I remember I was watching Game of Thrones, like in the first like real like gay scene came on. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm going to keep it a bug with you. I'm going to tell y'all something. You know why I don't want to watch no gay scenes? What if you like it? Let me tell you something, man.
Hold on, no, bro.
Like, I'm not gay. But what if it turns you on?
Like I said, I'm playing with fire. Damn it, I cannot get caught here,
Hold on, I need to run to the bathroom.
First off, it makes me cringe. But what, like, I didn't think I was going to like to watch a horse fuck a woman. And I did. I was like,
that first podcast walkout. No.
Hey, bro, real talk. I don't know if you ever seen a horse pipe down a woman.
No. I can't go there.
I'll be honest with you, I was a little younger.
Yeah.
I watched it.
That looks like that's like getting on those.
Yo,
so out of
B.
Whoa, man.
I'm just being honest, dog. I watched a horse pipe down a woman, man.
I've heard. That's some shit that why did I like that?
Bro,
you have to go think. You have to think about yourself. Like
I have to make me not watch it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying like I go looking for it, like, or I want to watch it now.
Is that like the gay test though? Like if they strap you down to a chair and put something on you, like put like in front of you, like if you get hard, you pass it. Like,
I thought this was, yeah. Have you heard the gay test? It's like, what is it? It's you and all your homeboys get together and you all pop a Viagra and you sit in line and you turn on gay porn. And the first person to get hard got to buy everybody's dinner.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm not.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, I got
transitions here.
No. I got a gay cousin. He's married to another man.
Okay.
I love this guy. Like this is my cousin.
No, gay dudes are cool as fuck.
So we're at a family reunion.
I just don't want to watch y'all fuck.
That's all. Hey, I just don't want to watch you fuck. So we're at a family reunion, man, about 6 years ago, and me and my gay cousin are just talking, and we've laughed together, we've cried together. Me, him, and his husband are talking, and I mean, it's great. Our kids are playing together. He's adopted kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
I didn't mean to look at you.
Yo, I'm telling you a real story, dog.
I'm with you.
We are, and they're family. I'm happy to see the kids playing with each other. It's like, damn, man, this is what family is for. And my son and his boys run over to all of us. They go, Dad, I love my cousins. And both of us like, hell yeah. And we dapped each other up. We was like, man, we got to get together more often. And we was like, yeah. And then his son looked at him and said, Dad, can my cousin spend the night? And I went, oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah. Joseph, hey, all that family shit went out the window. he was like,
no, we actually just had a family member die.
Who died? Somebody.
At the family reunion.
It's on your mama's side.
You don't know him.
It's your mama's side.
It's on your mama's side. We gotta go.
In fact, it's your mama.
Yo, B, I was over here really like, and my cousin said, dear, you really not gonna let him stay with us? I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it, brother. Just what y'all do in y'all house is cool.
Would you let your daughter stay with him?
No.
Okay.
No.
I just think of like Chuck and Larry. Y'all seen Chuck and Larry, right?
I have.
Pretending, hey,
that was
it's a bold move.
That was for insurance purposes.
That was a funny move.
Yeah, but still,
very funny.
But he still fell in love. He was almost in the pocket.
Yeah.
Didn't he end up with her?
Wait, what?
He didn't end up with the girl.
He ended up with the girl. I'm talking about he played gay to be her best friend and was like,
yeah.
It was working.
Oh, you mean that's how he got his in?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but listen, man. Hey, man, shout out to the gays.
Like male cheerleaders, that the ones that aren't gay.
Oh man,
they just want to throw some pussy.
Did they do that in high school with y'all? Like the guys would? Oh man, the dudes in my school were, and I was like, why would he cheerlead? And I was like, oh shit, he's smart. Yeah.
Me and my best friend really like we went through. We did the sign-up papers and everything.
Oh no, Chief! I could just see you in a chair. Hey, but I wouldn't be mad at you though.
I can't
knock your hustle.
You go home and you be like, this son of a bitch got us again.
Oh no, I dropped you on my face.
On my face. Yeah, it's smart, and you can get a scholarship like that to college.
For real, big time.
So one of our football players, he became a cheerleader. He was our starting running back. Dude went to college because he got a scholarship, partial athletic, partial from cheerleading.
See, I got the idea from the movie Fired Up. I don't know if you ever watched the movie
watched Fired Up. That shit was crazy.
It's hilarious.
I don't think I
Male
watched it.
cheerleaders. Basically,
It's two guys who they were like, they're football stars, and they were like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's go cheerlead.
Oh, yeah?
And, you know.
They were living in no, that's a good movie.
Okay.
I say it's a good movie. That's like a raunchy, like, remember the movies we were talking about last week?
Yeah.
Like, that was like that period movie.
Okay.
It's called FU, but it stands for Fired Up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's one, it's
Okay,
one of
because
them
I'm like,
ones.
F you. All right, Fired Up. I got you.
You gotta go. It really is hilarious. And the funniest moment of the whole movie is in the last 10 seconds.
What's the cast like to circle back around? They all white?
They're all white.
Yeah.
I think they
Circle back around to the shit we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those like American Pie type shits.
Yeah, it's like American Pie, which those are pretty heavily white too.
White.
No, think about it. Let me run this by you while we're talking about the casting and stuff. So like, okay. So I'm into like, I like Lord of the Rings and like fantasy and shit like that. Like like fighting. Like I dabble. You know what I'm saying? So the original, there's 6 original Lord of the Rings movies, right?
Okay.
And everyone has an English accent. There's elves and dwarves and men. They're all white.
Precious.
Yes, everyone is white. So then Amazon just recently makes a prequel, right? So it's before. And now it's inclusive. And it's all like, oh yes, there's black elves, black dwarves. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then I thought about it. I said, fam, what happened to them? If I'm watching this shit in chronological order, the fuck happened to all the blacks?
Okay.
I was like, damn, they may have been accidentally more racist being inclusive.
People might be more aware of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones did the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, House of Dragons. Yeah, when they added, they added a family that in the book was white. They just made them black. But I get it. But then you got to think, 100 years later, where are these black folks? Accidental racism, I think.
Blame
I
it
don't
on the
think they
dragons.
even thought that shit
We're going to blame
through.
it on the dragons.
The dragons did it.
Yeah, the dragon. Oh,
Well, the Grand Dragon.
he said the Grand Dragon.
Grand Dragon did it. Yeah, that's what I've heard of him before.
Oh my god, the Grand Dragon. That's wild.
Yo, you got to think about it, man. Nobody ever questioned it when it was all white. It was normal.
Yeah, no.
It's only questions whenever you add it. So I don't want to be the one to question it, because something's gay or it gets too like, people didn't even want to watch sex scenes back in the day. There was a show called I Love Lucy. Y'all probably never watched it, but you may have heard of it.
What's I Love Lucy?
Lucy and her husband never slept in the same bed. They had 2 separate beds.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that was ready for that on TV at that time. Yeah.
We're ready for that on TV. We cannot show them 2 sleeping in the same. They're married now. Can't sleep in the same bed. They weren't ready for
honey,
it.
I'm
I didn't
home.
know that. No, yeah, no.
Yeah, that's
familiar with the show.
Yeah. So TV has evolved. It's gotten to a certain point of like it's Wild Wild West, man.
Now we're trying not to show titties on commercials. I mean,
I don't think commercials have ever shown titties, but they definitely
on these shows. These shows are finding new reasons
to show titties.
boob.
Yeah, well, yeah, even and peepees. They're out there.
Boobs.
Oh yeah, these HBO shows.
Oh no, HBO. Yeah. They're gonna show you Johnson on HBO.
Yeah, side boobs are making a huge appearance in PG-13 films.
Hello, they're here.
Side boobs, yes.
Oh,
You ain't gonna get the nip, but you can get some side boobs.
You know something that's interesting to me?
Male ass too.
Where was the Lion
that's why I've
King?
been seeing a bunch of male ass on accident, bro. What was I watching the other day, bro? I can't even, bro.
It is a Tyson fight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, facts. That's exactly where it was.
Circle back around.
For no reason at all, we saw this man's ass.
Bro, leaned in, kissed his son. I'm like, oh, a family moment.
And
Walks
he
around
walks off
with that ass
and
out.
it's his ass. Dead ass. Where was the Lion King filmed at? Or where do you assume it was taking place at?
The actual Lion King? Like the cartoon movie? Yeah. Africa? Right.
Africa.
Yeah.
Have you thought about the characters? Did Simba sound like he was African? I want to be a movie star.
Mufasa was white as fuck.
Okay. Scar? Was Scar white?
So what, they just throw Rafiki in? That was all they could give us?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, son.
Damn.
The only African they put in there was the monkey.
Oh, yeah.
See how fucked up this is, brothers?
Oh, shit. I can't unsee this shit now.
Y'all owe me $20 each reparations right now. Yeah.
Damn it.
And then some shit. You never thought about it, right? It's in Africa.
Oh, my God.
Hey, man, the little girl that liked, what's the symbol?
Nala.
Nyla. She wasn't African.
No.
They ain't had no African voices.
They were all white.
The motherfucker was, and listen, well.
I never think about cartoons.
Shit.
In the remake, young Simba there was more black characters, I think. But I mean, it's a new time. Yeah.
Do you know you have to think to put black people in shit?
Yeah. That makes sense.
You got to think of them. Not just African Americans or black people. You got to think to put Hispanics in shit. You got to think to include others. You have to think about including others. Is it overcorrection? Probably so.
Yeah.
I can't say that it's not because it's abrupt. And you're trying not to offend anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just include everybody.
Yeah, if that's a precaution, just to try to get your art out there, then yeah, I mean, I guess overcorrection's okay. But I mean, in any sense, and I'm saying this as a white man, so I can't say this as somebody who's been offended by a lack of characters in anything.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think the only time it would be a problem is if you do mess up storylines. If you
yeah, that's the big that's the beef on the internet.
That's what people's arguments are.
So I mean, so is that story? So like what I was describing to y'all earlier, like just the Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people that really like get into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And these big abrupt changes, and I understand it's a new time, but like if that takes you out of that universe, like I get what I 100% understand everything you said, right? But does that make it bad storytelling? Because I mean, if you create a universe that everybody gets drawn into this universe, then all of a sudden you make changes that draw away from that feel like they take you out of the.
Tell you why it doesn't. I can tell you why it doesn't. Because nobody ever cared whether Superman or Batman was the same person. They've always changed.
Right.
Who Superman was in the beginning, that shit, it always changed.
Yeah.
Who Batman was played by.
People argue who's the best, but it has always been different.
Yeah, but they separate them by like trilogies and stuff, though. Like they're trying to separate. Like they say character. This is same character, but they say, but every single time it's like a new story. We've had 3 Spider-Mans. We have to go through his damn uncle dying every fucking time.
I get it, but still the same character.
Right.
Think about it. The Little Mermaid, when they made her black, white people were about to kill themselves. You know that?
Yeah, that was nuts. That was really nuts.
Crazy.
The uproar that came about that.
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Whenever you get through, representation matters. Just representation matters. You take and I don't even understand. So hopefully not to get into the argument, but to show you how crazy the shit looks. Cat Williams had a brilliant joke about all the presidents. He was like, you look in the book and it's white, 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 white. You get to one black president and then people, he wasn't good. Motherfucker, we had one.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't give you the worst of us. We didn't give you one of them. We gave you a Harvard-educated motherfucker with a white mama.
Yeah.
No. We ain't give you this hood motherfucker that
Obama was more qualified than probably 80% of presidents that have ever touched the canvas. 100%.
And yet, the shit that comes with him, it's like, yo.
In fact, he's perfectly qualified. Like, I gotta say, regardless of whatever he did in office, qualification-wise, he probably had 80. I'm gonna say probably like 95% of people who have ever ran for president, he was probably more qualified.
So in that, and I always looked at people and didn't understand why he just had to be the black president. I never understood it, even though I love it. I take ownership of it. He's His mom was white.
That's what I wanted to say. I don't want to take away from him being black, but people were
the way he spoke too was a big part
He's
of it.
not
He
just
ain't even
black.
I mean, he's black, but he's white too.
That's right, and that's what but that's lost upon people. It ain't lost upon me.
Right.
Like, I recognize he was raised by a white mom. Not that makes him better or worse. That's not. But dog, you think that man can't see the world from everybody's perspective? Yeah. I believe he could, which is why how this motherfucker got elected twice. You know what I mean? Yo, not that your policies are 10 times better than somebody else's or anything like that. But even, here's what I am saying, and I'll say it just like this. We gave you the best black person we could. And then it was a backdoor with Trump.
That is wild.
It's backdoored with a felon. Somebody who is morally corrupt. Fuck whether or not he's a good president.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking about who he is as a human.
I mean,
just a man.
As far as qualifications go, we backslid.
Yeah.
You know.
A long way. And people were all too happy to backslide. It was like, yeah, come on. Get us back to where what the fuck are we doing? That, to me, Obama was a move forward in the country. So when you ask about certain things in television, it's a direct reflection of where we are as a people. So is it going backwards? Like, or are they fucking up the story? Maybe the story should be fucked up.
Maybe so. That's why I asked.
I think that is going from, and I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not referring to what these people did in office.
Me either.
But going from Obama's qualifications to Trump's qualifications, I think are a direct reflection of the division that has come in between one side and another.
Well, I could tell you why people voted for Trump the first time, because it was almost like I think wanting to change because like, okay, we think of like Barack, the way he spoke. He did represent us well, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some because I go down too many rabbit holes. All these presidents do fucked up shit.
I agree.
And
everybody's got.
I think they all got a lot of blood on their hands, and that's kind of fucked up when I think about it. And it don't black, white, it don't matter. Some of the shit that they've had to do, which is crazy that presidents get away with the shit they get with, assuming that they're the ones even making decisions. Anyways, that I just said a lot of. Anyways, I think people wanted something outside of like a politician, and when you think of Obama is a the way he is like you're saying, he is the most qualified. He is like a poster child for like how smooth he speaks, the way he handles situations. It seems like.
But isn't that right? Isn't that correct? Isn't that what you would like? Not that
politically
you can't be too. You can't be too smooth, motherfucker. You either smooth or you ain't. And that's something. He was just a smooth man, but he wasn't like a politician. Like, let me lie to you and then watch me snatch it back from you. He wasn't a politician. But did he watch what he said? Yeah, I think it's all right to watch what you say.
Yeah, I'm just saying that like he felt like a politician. Where the appeal for Trump is that. It's why some people love Trump and some people hate his fucking guts.
It's like stepping away from politics.
It's like he was a step away from normal. And I feel like, because here's the thing, things did happen in Obama's deal. You know what I'm saying? Like they did start to feel like this change of like, you know, and some of it good, some of it bad. But people were like, you know, and there was a lot of like, okay, so like, if we think about some of their stances originally, like they was like, dude, like him and Hillary were both on some like, hell no. If you a guy and you a guy, y'all not supposed to get married. Hell no. And now if you fast forward to like where we're at now, on that side of the fence, they're like, why aren't we letting girls, like guys who decide their girls play with girls in sports? It's like, okay, so somewhere along the lines, I think some of that is like a response to like some of the weirdness and like and then just and like I said, trying to get away from like I don't know. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying a lot of people find the appeal of Trump, and it's the same reason why people hate him also, because he is night and day, at least different on how he's presenting himself.
All right, so I'm gonna show you from another perspective.
Right.
When and this is the only perspective that I can give you is the one that I live and the one that's been shared with me from other black men, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we see that we give you something like President Obama, who was a really great person, what it did was it pissed off a certain part of America. So we've always said that not everybody that votes for Trump is racist. That would be wrong to say. I think it's asinine of you to think that just because somebody voted for Trump, they're racist. That's not. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Yeah.
But what we can say is that every racist is voting for Trump.
You said that before. Can I argue with you from the other way though? Because I did think about this.
But I'm gonna
listen to you. Yeah, definitely.
When saying that, it has brought out more racist tendencies from those who do harbor those feelings.
Right.
Who do feel like that. This was not the vitriol and the way that Black America treated the rest of America did not reflect the way that white America has started to treat the rest of America, and not all of white America. That's not fair to put a blanket statement on.
The portion that you're speaking about.
Just the portion that I'm speaking about. How it's like, I want to show you where your place is.
It's radicalism.
And I think it's so radical that it feels like Black people are losing allies and our white friends when they don't acknowledge that shit is wrong. And that they don't try to distance themselves from that. When we have a president who doesn't try to distance himself from that, it makes us feel like we don't have allies and our friends aren't our friends because they're quiet on that issue.
I get that.
Shit fucks with us.
I get that.
And I understand.
You explained that really well.
Well, because when I explain shit, I ain't even trying to argue with nobody.
No.
Yeah,
it's really easy for me to sit here and be like, well, damn near everybody I know supports Trump, and not everybody I know has any type of feelings.
I do think that there's a ton of African Americans that support Trump. Like, it's wild. It's more than ever. But can we agree there?
But we also know who he's talking about. The problem.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think that it comes from the other side as well, in different forms.
But let's not even deal with the other side. Let's deal with the
Okay, so can you be racist the other way? Let's go that route.
No.
You cannot be racist. A black person cannot be racist.
They can harbor bigotry, right? They can be bigoted. But they can't. Racism, you have to have some sort of power in order to even be able to invoke racism. Me being, if I were to be racist, what could it do? How can Black people, whenever they are racist, what can they do where it would affect white people?
So it wouldn't necessarily make me feel insecure. It would more so just make me question,
but
why?
But even then, what can I do to you to show you that my behavior of being racist would affect your life?
I mean, I wouldn't like it.
Other than not liking it.
Well, I mean, I would feel, but I mean, like me personally, I don't have, like, I'm white. So if I say something racist to you and you say something racist towards me.
We just hurt each other's feelings, that's all. If we got feelings. So Black people have never been in a position to have power to be able to invoke.
You mean like,
I get what you're saying, but
it's never been no whites allowed type shit. Like
ever.
Power like that.
Ever. And then even in that fact, whenever President Obama was in office, you didn't see a bunch of Black people toting guns going, Black power, Black, get the fuck. There was not, you can't say that you saw that.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, I had to ask a question to get it, but I know exactly what you mean now. Like, it's never been a position of where, like, it's never been hey, there's no whites allowed here.
At what point does that change? Like, at what point are you saying that let's say there's a swing, and let's say that this power you're talking about, black people get that, and then at that point, and the roles reverse in that moment, or let years go by in that moment. Someone says something racist. Is it racist at that point? Because is it just about the power struggle? Is it just about time?
Has everything to do with the power struggle.
Right. Okay.
What we as black people have felt is that in this country, just speaking on in America, white men have been violent towards just about everybody. The Native Americans, African Americans, they've just been violent. They've reeked and they've taken, they've pillaged, whatever they wanted to do, right? And at every turn, Native Americans kept making treaties with the white man, and they kept going, well, fuck you, bitch, I'm going to do what I want to do. You take black people. Nobody has ever in this country wreaked violence up on white people. It has never happened to where white people have had to walk around in some sort of proverbial fear for their lives, or fear that if they are out, this is a sundown town.
Well, in the beginning when we got here, Indians put the fear of God in them. They had to go up. They had to fight Comanches. They got scalped. They did. All that shit.
Why did they have to? Why did they?
Well, the whole world's built on conquering. So if we're gonna call conquering bad, then anybody that's ever, even any African tribe that ever conquered another African tribe, is it the same?
I agree, but I'm only speaking about.
But you're talking about America. I'm with you. But that's the same concept.
Let's not even go that far back to slavery.
Right.
Let's not because none of us experienced it, right? Let's just come up to the civil rights movement.
Right.
Our parents or your grandparents that are still alive were a part of the civil rights movement. Whether they were for it, against it, hey man, that ain't got shit to do with me. I like black people, whatever the fuck it was, right? You know what the fuck they was fighting for? Just to be civil.
Yeah.
But it wasn't white people looking for black people to treat them civilly. It was black people always looking for, damn, can you accept us? We don't have the power to be like, it's always been inclusive on our end. I don't know a time where black people have just said, fuck white people. And we don't fuck with you. It's always like, yeah, as soon as we find a cool ass white dude, that's my dog. We don't have the power structure in this country to be racist.
Even to this day.
Question.
Don't have
Question. Do you think that there is a group of black people that would like to have that power? Or do you think there's a group of black people that does fully discriminate against white or hold enough resentment to where they're not okay with?
I guarantee you're going to find there's one in every single town. Right.
I feel like I've ran into a couple
about
people.
Extremism, though. Like, even to this day.
Radicalism.
Because, y'all use the word radical. We say extremism.
However you want to
and nowadays, I feel like most folks in 2024 are not blatantly racist. There's these pockets of people, or even prejudice. If we say that black people can't be racist, then they can definitely be prejudiced.
Absolutely.
For sure.
100%.
But if you're prejudiced on somebody's race, it still feel like racism to me. But I do get what you're saying. But we'll call it We'll call it feeling different towards you for.
But just because you feel something, don't mean you are. I'll tell you, you've seen, and I don't know if you guys saw this video, watched it. There were people who are out there as Trump supporters, right? Because that's what you have to call them, Trump supporters. I'm not a Trump supporter. Doesn't mean that I hate the guy. Just not a big supporter, right?
I'm not no fucking Trump supporter.
But what we've noticed, what I've seen, and there's a video, and I'll look on here and find it for you, where you have people out there that are Trump supporters, just white people, and I'm just saying white people. This is just, and let's say it was somebody black out there, whatever.
Yeah,
white people standing around supporting Trump. And do you know, out there amongst those great Trump supporters, there's one guy in full Ku Klux Klan garb, in the whole. And nobody says shit to him. Nobody's afraid of him. Nobody's like, hey, man, we ain't with that shit. It's accepted. And that's where being quiet fucks us up as a country. It's almost like black people or those who are in the minority feel like, damn, man, you won't even say none of this. I get it that you don't feel like that. But damn, you wouldn't tell this motherfucker that's wrong? I wouldn't dare let somebody black black people just innately just won't let other black people try to overpower white people. You can't name a time where we just went on some sort of killing spree to fuck over white people. But when you see somebody in full KKK attire and they're out there amongst the Trump supporters and no Trump supporter is going, you need to get the fuck out of here.
So, for example, if you bring me to a function and somebody comes in just straight, hey, black power, no white man allowed in here. You got to go. Hey, you got to go.
Yeah, I'm leaving with you.
I should expect somebody to speak up and say something.
Absolutely.
For me.
1,000%. And if they don't.
And I would expect somebody, if I'm there with people that,
hell yeah,
you know, I love, I would.
That's when you drop the trench coat and go, crack, I got an AR.
Let me tell you something. That's a good way to get your ass whipped. Don't do that. Just follow my lead, motherfucker. Don't do what the motherfuckers are telling you to do.
But no, I understand. And that somebody should fucking say something about that.
People that make the laws. People that make the laws. People that enforce the laws. People that invoke the law. When you hear about police shootings in America, you rarely, if ever, y'all ever heard about a black cop just killing a white dude?
No.
Because he's afraid of him?
That don't happen.
And it does. No, but
that surely happens, though.
No,
maybe not because they're afraid of him, but I'm sure that happens.
It has to happen in the line of duty.
Right.
That's just the given for the job. But we're talking about an unarmed white man who this black dude is just afraid of. My blackness is weaponized a lot of times just because I'm black. Again, I told y'all I've had a gun put on me 3 times in my life. Twice was by the cops. I ain't never been arrested just because I'm black. Sucks like a mother.
Yeah.
But to get others to understand why people are overly inclusive is because you don't get to see or hear about many of the war stories that happen with African Americans. Y'all see me, I ain't never came in here smelling like weed or bumping music too loud or throwing gang signs or on the phone going, hey, bitch, you know.
I've done all of those things coming in here.
or giving off whatever the typical...
Every one of those.
You know what I'm saying? Like whatever that typical bullshit is that you would see and have people go, I got to clutch my pearls because I think he's something.
Yeah.
I don't get that off. I ain't never gave it
None
off.
of the stereotypical shit that...
I ain't none of that shit.
Right.
But yet and still, because of my skin color, they done pulled that thing on me.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I've been arrested twice. I've only had a gun pulled on me once, and it wasn't by the cops, ever. And I've been pulled over a lot.
And so, in saying all of that, and I know we were, on the inclusive thing. That's why I was getting at. That's why I mentioned the president and all that shit. But it's only because I want those of my friends who are white to understand our disdain for the regime that is in office now, the current administration. And when I say disdain for it, and it's only because there's so many who are racist that support that, the system, the current administration. Not that you're supporting that administration for racist reasons. Not that that's not it. But it's so many fucking racists that are supporting that administration for racist reasons.
So to put this in perspective, if you show up somewhere and there's 100 people there and there's one guy walking around in a Ku Klux uniform,
mm-hmm.
and none of these 100 people say a word to him,
mm-hmm.
how can you feel comfortable around any of those people?
I feel like
is that kind of the thing?
At the same time, from the other side of the coin, though, that may have been one rally, right? But I mean, there isn't like it is. You think that there's like full regalia Klan members at every Trump rally?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that.
Because if it happened in one place, like the people in the, like maybe the people who was around him, yeah, you're 100% wrong. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're full, that
but
people
it's not
are
a
full.
one-off.
It's not a what?
It's not a one-off. You can see the thing that happened in Ohio this past week.
What happened?
Where you got the neo-Nazis out marching, yelling, N-word, go home, N-word.
I didn't hear about this.
Brother, it's all on the internet. Like it's video.
You know the algorithms.
You seen it?
I've seen it, yeah.
You know what I mean? These things are happening. At what point, where can you find video where there's a group of black people on the internet going, white people, get out of here? Get out of where?
Yeah.
That's why we can't be racist. Where the fuck are we telling you to get to? What law can black people invoke that go, that'll get your ass locked up like this?
I think I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree. But I think the word racism, you've given it a specific meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to a lot of other people that word doesn't necessarily mean just that, right?
It has to do with your power. It has to do with the power that you hold and that you possess. In order for you to be not in order to be a racist, but for you to invoke racism, you've got to have some sort of power.
And your thoughts are that maybe you do not have to have power to be or to show racism.
I think that, I mean, by definition, racism, you are bringing some type of prejudice, hate, or anger towards somebody for the color of their skin. That's what the textbook definition
The difference
of racism is, and that's what a lot of people would say racism is. But you're giving me a deeper answer, and that's cool. But I'm saying that maybe other people may not.
Because you can show racism. That'll only get you a feeling. But to invoke it, you must have power.
Yeah.
I can't do shit.
I get that, yeah. So you could show racism, though, right?
I could show it. What can I do about it?
Okay, so we agree there. Okay. I agree.
I can't do nothing about it.
Right. But you're saying, but you are saying that you can flash out and show it, which could have some power.
Has zero power. Just because you show it, not just showing it.
Change.
But, and I think that's the fear. This is where I want you to hold it right there.
I got you.
That's the fear that we believe most white men have. What if the times change and you do get it? Are you going to treat us the way we treated you? At no point in this history have you ever seen where black people have just treated white people bad.
No. And the current black man also fears that we're going to get back to.
Absolutely. Remember what I told you?
I agree with both of them.
Remember what I told you the week of the election?
Yeah, you told me that, and it kind of blew my mind. I
talked to some, but I guess it could be just from here. I talked to after we talked, I think about this shit. I really do. Like, I know, I went and talked, and like, dude, like, every black person I've talked to has been down with Trump. They're not talking about like we're scared of him, all that shit. Like, a good percentage that are like, dude, like, because I don't know, like, I don't never see like none of like the crazy racist shit. It's like there's things that I'm hopeful for that he does. Like, I promise I'm not Trumped out.
I'm gonna show you something.
I just wasn't Harrised out neither.
I also think it's a big area. I think it's a regional. Like, I think it's
But I mean, I was watching them interview people on the streets, and they're like, "Dude, no, we're with Trump." Like, I'd seen hundreds.
I'm gonna show you something. I never growing up saw pedophilia. I didn't even know it existed, and it ran rampant through my family. Just because I didn't see it, don't mean the shit wasn't happening.
Right?
It is a bunch of incest. I never saw it
in your family,
but I know it exists. You ever seen a woman get the R word? You ever seen somebody just take her body? You know what happens though, don't you?
Yeah.
That's goddamn. Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. So maybe the people that you know, that you talk to, maybe they haven't. And a lot of times I think people, whether you agree or disagree, they're afraid to have the conversation because they cannot articulate how they feel without getting emotional behind it or without feeling like they're about to hurt your feelings. Me, I don't believe I'm hurting nobody's feelings by being, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I believe I can articulate it in a way in which, damn, I hope you can understand it. Because I don't say things to anger people or to, because I think there's a way I can say all this shit. And y'all would be like, man, fuck him.
Oh, I mean, there's a way to respond too. Me and you could be into it.
You know what I mean?
Very easily.
But because of me wanting to gain an understanding,
right,
and to get you to really see where it's at, I have to be able to speak to it in that way.
Right.
And hell, I got to understand it my goddamn self.
Right.
But if I don't understand it, I can't tell it to you. A lot of people don't even understand what's going on, nor do they care enough to be. Some people just, you don't even understand. We call them, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You right now, Joe. Now, I don't see nothing wrong with Trump. Trump a good man. Do that shit. And it's fucked up. And I know that's so racist.
What do you call those people? I need to know this. I think I know. My bad.
No,
yeah.
Is that UT? Uncle Tom?
Yeah.
At times, you can, but
I didn't know if they still use that term.
Well, yeah, the term is used, but I think it's used wrong. But there's so many people that do not want to rock the boat.
Because that's a very offensive term amongst. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you don't. Especially if you want it to offend you, it will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could be called that because of how. Man, I think there's a way. Just like you know how you were saying people are politically correct. My friends on the other podcast that I do, they call me politically correct. They like, there you go, Mr. PC. I'm like, dog, I'm not PC. I speak to everybody.
Right.
I just think there's a way to speak to everybody. I've been silenced by white people before. I've been kicked off a podcast for speaking up and telling the truth, which is why I wanted to do this podcast.
Let's get him out of here, Chief.
Because I knew that we could speak freely. And I knew, man, on that other podcast, man, the white people kicked me out of there.
Yeah, man. If you can't show up here and spread your thoughts, then somebody ain't doing
I get challenged every week. I love this shit.
Yeah, but I think we should. I think if you really are trying to like understand, man, I want to understand other. Like I like listening to you,
right?
Because one, I don't believe that you're one of these guys who. Man, I'm racist. Like, Derrick, now listen, I'm gonna tell you something in your face and I'm gonna go, but I don't, what you saying is wrong, Derrick, and that's just, that ain't how I see that. Your perspective is truly your perspective, but it's not one that looks down upon mine. As you're from a different generation. Your generation really looks at it like, damn, dog, we all just here, baby.
Yeah, that's a big point. Is the fact is that we don't like our dose of racism is way lower, obviously.
Way freaking lower.
Like when I was at school, and then like the schools me and him went to, it's like we didn't really experience. And every once in a while, a country dude would get a little too crazy, and he'd get his shit knocked out for it. Like there was consequence. You know what I'm saying? There was you couldn't. It wasn't like going to a school of all white dudes. There was only like one black dude there, and they said, "Hey, this word," and then, you know what I'm saying. If you say that shit at Liberty, I'll get your teeth knocked out.
Yeah, I want to see two things. I'm gonna show you two things. Hopefully, I'll show you two things. Hopefully, you'll be able to see it. We talked about. I think I asked y'all, did y'all have any black male teachers when you were growing up, or even black female teachers? You probably had black female teachers, but
yeah, I had a couple black female teachers. A few.
All the guys were at like the SOS school, which was
right. You want to know who goes to SOS school?
The kids. Yeah, I already know to say that.
Hey, I want you to remember that shit. Yeah. You want to know why? Because they want us to be security guards and prison guards for them.
No.
Listen, if I can handle them here, why wouldn't you put me in the classroom?
We had Arkansas High. We had a few black males. Probably half the coaching staff was black.
Not the coaching staff, because I know that's a typical. You know what I'm saying? That's typical, right?
So if you're talking about just
English teacher,
strictly
math teacher,
we had a math teacher,
science teacher. You know what I mean?
I had a black English teacher.
Some of your core subjects,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very few.
I think I had one in every subject except history.
And so it's like, yo, and this is, you guys are on the newer end, right? Of that. The further end of that is during integration, where and black students were bussed over to all white schools.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way in the world there was ever going to be a black man in that classroom. teaching.
Like as the teacher, yeah.
Absolutely not.
That makes sense.
They were kicked out of that field.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they couldn't do the damn job. They just kicked out of that field.
They probably thought it was a bad look, like because of the authority figure in the room during that
That's
time.
exactly what. So why is it okay to have a white man over a black man and not a black dude over? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black men couldn't even apply for managerial positions or supervisor positions at jobs.
Yeah, I recall reading about that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been that's racist. That's invoking. But it's never been a period where a white man can't apply for or...
And that's what you're referring to as the lack of power.
Shit, that's all I'm talking about. Like when you can show the power.
No, that's pretty strong. That has a...
What's the solution? What's the time period? When does it get all? But because like I read somewhere that like the amount of mixed babies we're having like nowadays, like eventually white might not be the predominant number. Like is it going to take something like that where it's like what I'm saying is like what is the solution? Is it time? Is it a shift? Is it what? I mean,
the solution starts right here, right? Like with conversation, like honest conversation, where you can really a person can help you understand like what my position is. And not that any of us can do anything about it right now, right? Like there's none of us in power to do anything. But we're having that conversation. Now we can go, oh shit, maybe I can impress upon others to do X, Y, Z, which is why I vote the way that I vote. I don't vote towards party or with a sheep mentality like race. I vote for what's best for what I think for the people. Not just me. I'm going to be all right. But I'm saying, like, for me, the solution is be truthful about where we're at and what we've been through and why we are where we are. Is the solution, what'd you call it with the TV shows? You're trying to overdo it. What?
It was just
inclusive.
What are you talking about?
Overly inclusive.
Or like overcorrecting.
Overcorrecting.
Because everything's like a pendulum, right? But
So how do we get all that to stop and just be where it is?
Do you think that's in our lifetime that we see a level of equality to where there is no sense of power to where somebody could be racist with a sense of power, rather that if somebody feels any type of way that it would be more of an equal playing field? Do you think that would be something in our lifetime? To where there is no excess power that a white man has over a black man as far as a form of racism can go.
I'm a very optimistic guy. I believe that there could be. But even in saying that, I also want to make sure that I say it in the reverse because of what you said, where no white guys over. But I don't want it to be where black people are in power and can exact racism upon anybody else either.
Yeah.
See, I don't want...
You don't want the roles reversed.
I do not, because that's not right. If I know that it ain't right on this side...
Yeah, if you did, that'd be fucked up.
It would be extremely fucked up. So because I know it's not right over here, shouldn't be right over there, right? So do I think it could level out? Yeah, but I think there's got to be some honesty across the board. I think that if political meetings were like this, I believe we'd get a lot further. We typically want the same thing. We typically want the same exact things.
Yeah, all people want the same things. Like
for the most part.
Most common people, they want to take care of their family, want to make enough money, they want to feel safe.
Which is why I like a bipartisan government.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't exclude anybody.
Yeah.
It's really one where like, okay, you have some ideas. Okay, I can drop this side right here because I don't need that. Like, let me take up what you're saying, or let me put you in charge right here because I know your heart. I know where you're going. And man, I think we can work together. That has to happen in politics locally and federally. Yeah. It has to happen in order for there to be the blanket change.
Yeah.
If it does not happen where we respect one another, it can really boil down to just that word, respect. If it doesn't happen to where we can respect the fact that somebody else is different and maybe I should hear them. I heard somebody today say, if you think you're only going to learn from people that like you, you won't learn shit. You got to learn from people that dislike you. You got to learn from people that you dislike. You got to, if you're planning on learning. So I believe that we have to find a way to respect others and their differences in order for us to be able to see that type of change.
Wouldn't you say that the respect has grown though? I mean, if we're looking through time, right?
I thought it did. I think my honest opinion, I believe because Trump isn't PC, it has caused so many people to become so disrespectful on both sides.
Right.
Because it's a fight back. Somebody hits you, the natural reaction for most people is it's either
do you think
fight or flight.
Right. But do you think racism is a more powerful motivator right now than, or is it like the party lines? Like, I think people hate over party lines harder than they do race at this point.
Yeah.
Like, dudes our age.
But like
okay, so think about it like this. So like the racism that I've experienced in my family, like, you know, it has happened. Like, or even when I've been at work or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, because some people, like, I don't know if I give off like fucking Aryan Brotherhood vibes or some shit when I'm at work because I've got all these tattoos and shit. But somebody will fucking get like that. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
But here's the thing is, those, I think what is helping forward is a lot of them old motherfuckers are dying.
Yeah. Oh, I think for certain. Now, that's one of the points I didn't want to make. There's a lot of motherfuckers need to die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to say that they need to die because I think it's just naturally they are going to die.
Their voice.
And that's good.
Their voice needs to die too.
That badass opinion needs to die. I agree there. I don't want to wish death on nobody though.
Listen, no, their voice needs to die. But Trump and Biden are in that age range of get the fuck out of here. They're in the age range for it.
80% of our Congress is in the age range.
And guess what? Hey, and that 80%, I wouldn't give a fuck what side of the coin your ass is on. Yeah. You have that age range. Listen, I don't put animals out to pasture. I don't put you out to die. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But man, the world has changed. And let me tell you something. The way you were raised got a lot to do with how the fuck you view the world too. The house you were raised in.
Think how differently it is raising somebody 60 years ago who is now running the government and somebody
I think this will all play. Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to play out in our favor if we can just hold together. Because I think every generation is less racist. And I think that I understand. So here's another, honest question. Like, do you think that racism can naturally die off through the old people? I tend to think that for the most part, most young kids, that shit's going to go away just because most people aren't fucking thinking like that no more. But if racism is in the news and it's this and this and this and it's always top of mind, always top of mind. Truthfully, like, and I 100% understand what you're saying. Like, we need to hear your perspectives and all that, and it's very challenging even for me to sit here and listen to it. It's challenging and it's good. But if we don't stop talking about it eventually, like, does it ever go away because we don't ever can you shine like too much light on it to where know what I'm saying?
The Morgan Freeman statement.
Yeah. So like, I mean, is that something he said? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, no, Morgan Freeman, his whole thing was to stop racism, stop talking about it. And a lot of people would disagree with that.
That is my question, because that is a thought I've had. But it's like, it's not that and it's like, because there's a side of me that says, no, you need to be challenged in order to grow. Understand. But there's also another side of me that says, if as time goes on, like we're saying, a lot of these old racist motherfuckers are going to die, and it's going to be less and less common for young white kids to even be thinking about, like, you know what I'm saying? But you're always going to have your radicals. You're always going to have your extremes. I don't think you can get rid of that. But like the overall population, I think naturally will move away from that shit as we progress, assuming that we progress. But what's your thoughts? Because I just said a lot of shit. And
it's no, and I kept up with everything that you were saying.
Right.
And hopefully I have what I would like to consider an answer. Certain foods can cause cancer. cancer in the body. And will your cancer go away just because you ignore it? Racism is a fucking cancer, dog.
Yeah.
It must be eradicated. You must wipe, but you got to deal with it. You can't ignore it and it just goes away. Those people that say ignore it, like, dog, okay, when you gonna die, you gonna die from something. That might not be what killed you. It might not be, but it just might be. And maybe you'll live longer if you actually address it, right? With this racism thing, if it's ignored, at times it can become worse. Do I see it being worse? Nah, it'll be just like having a glass full of dark liquid and eventually like you just run clear water in that glass, you know, all that dark liquid will just flow out of the glass and all that shit.
I think I know exactly what you're saying. And
You're like diluting it, yeah.
I think what you're saying is if you do not, eradicate it, like if I don't fully eradicate what I've heard the older generations in my family and friends and everybody who's taught me anything in life, yeah, there have been people who have thoughts that I completely don't agree with. And I'm sure most white people from the South and probably anywhere have heard the same thing from older generations because of the way that they were raised. If I don't eradicate that, every bit of it inside of me, something's going to trickle down to my children.
Yes.
If they don't eradicate whatever trickled down, then it has to be fully, like I've got to deal with it in myself fully to the point of where it does not pass on to my next generation.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a household. It's like a household thing. Like in my house. So let's say,
but who's the head of every household?
Shit, me and mine. But not for real.
Technically, the president, not technically, right? The government, and I'm shitting on the government, not just the current administration.
Yeah, like the government in general.
Anytime there's a president, he's the fucking head of the households in America. This is what I'm saying. So if you're eradicating it, it can't be somebody that kind of champions shit.
Yeah.
It can't be someone who champions it. And I'm not saying that this motherfucker is wrong for certain policies. What I am saying is, we want it to be gone.
He needs to go against it.
I mean, he spoke out about. I mean, there's. I know, but there was. He said something not that long ago where they brought it up again because there was the very fine people on both sides deal that they took out. But no, have you watched the whole clip though?
Yeah,
the whole clip they took that out of context. But what I'm saying is, he came back and said, "I don't stand for that shit. We don't stand for that shit." So we just don't believe that.
So what is it that you're doing to show me that you're...
It's gonna take some effort from him.
It's gonna take hella effort.
Because I know only thing I can do is change my household. That's literally like that. That's
again, that's your part.
Yeah.
That's my part. That's his part.
Right.
That motherfucker is in charge of all households. He's got to do his part. So now, what did I tell you? I ain't had no soda in 2 weeks. If I want change, I got to make the shit happen.
No.
I can't just verbalize it. I got to do something about it. If I want, you've heard people talk about wanting to lose weight. They say it. Yeah. They ain't got gym membership at first. And even if they do get a gym membership, they go to the gym. This happens every year. Get you a gym membership in January.
Yeah. People going to fall off.
February.
Yeah, I was hurting by September.
People are done. What I'm saying is you have to get a trainer, get somebody who's expert in that field. To really work, because if not, you just say you want to do something, probably not going to do it because you're setting your ways, you're setting your habits. There are habits that these people have, there are ways that they're set in, and they're not changing. It has to be changed.
But it does. So you're saying that if our government has racist, like, anything,
it is a racist system.
You're saying that it doesn't matter, that will outshine what we do in our houses?
No, it has the tendency to. And let me tell you it's a racist system. The system itself is just racist. Let's just go with one system. Let's go. The world is how old?
Depends on what you believe.
Millions of years. Okay, yeah. Let's just go with 2024.
There's a lot of disagreements. I was
about to say, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Let's narrow it down to after death.
It's like 400 million years.
All right, let's just narrow it down to after death. Right, exactly. Let's narrow it down to after death. let's get to the 1800s. Because we're just in the 2000s.
Right.
So the 1900s, early 1900s, even in the 1930s, Bonnie and Clyde were on a fucking spree of killing motherfuckers everywhere, right?
Uh-huh.
The prison system in the United States wasn't as sophisticated, right? Do you know when the prison system got sophisticated? I'm going to go back behind that, then I'll bring you up modern day.
1980s.
No. The very nature of the prison system, the very nature of our current prison system, it started the day that the slaves were freed. Show you what I mean. And hopefully you can follow along. The day the slaves were freed, where did they get slaves from?
Africa.
Yeah. It's very simple. Ain't no trick question.
I was thinking, I was like,
man, what's this motherfucker trying to get me to say? They took it from Africa.
Right.
I freed you. Where do you go?
It'd be incredibly difficult to go back to Africa. Is that what you're saying?
Incredibly difficult.
Right.
You know what the first law was they made after they freed the slaves?
You can't.
No loitering.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
If you were found guilty of loitering, you know what you had to do?
Go to prison.
You know what that prison was?
Probably a farm.
Back to slavery.
Yeah, probably a plantation.
Like Life, the movie.
Kind of like
that shit.
So now let me show you what I mean by that. If there is no loitering, where am I supposed to go?
Right.
Where am I supposed to go? They started that and they were like, it started to sophisticate from there. That's why they call America's prison system slavery. It is just modern day slavery where whites, Hispanics, we don't give a fuck who we enslave, bitch. Everybody can get it.
Yeah, we incarcerate people at the highest number in any country in the world.
I've looked into that.
Yeah, because I've looked into the prison systems too.
Deep.
It's bad.
But the system itself, the system itself started out. That's why, you got some hardcore ass white criminals, you know what I'm saying? Some killers or whatever.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they'll tell you that the prison system is 70% black. Are black people inherently more fucked up than any other race?
A lot of it's probably weed charges. They've been going crazy on that for years.
But even so, if I take a black child and a white child, they're not inherently fucked up just because of their color.
If you take away households that would put somebody in a certain mind state, then no, there's no difference.
How is it that on the outside of the prison system, blacks are the minority, but on the inside, they are the majority?
Because I would say, just because the judicial system
is incarcerating them at a higher rate.
Which is set up that way.
I believe that, yeah. I mean...
It's set up that way. More white men are in federal prison than most black men. More black men are in state prison, which is the harder prison. And it's just because the system is fucked up. A lot of them prisons,
are they private? They're making money. They're making money off the prisons, right?
Yeah, what I was going to say is a lot of these prisons
you work for like nothing,
have contracts
like a job,
with corporations.
Yeah, corporations.
And some of these contracts will go as far as to say, if your prison system isn't at this capacity at all times, you owe us money.
So what are they doing? Man, they're making laws to make sure that they keep them bitches packed.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah,
I just read that recently.
It is sophisticated slavery.
Yeah.
And they don't care who they enslave. You understand?
Yeah.
Slavery, this is what it is.
I almost said something dumb. I almost said, well, isn't that at least a little better? But
shit, no. No, that's worse.
Well, I mean, at least they're being inclusive.
It costs you.
I'm sorry, that's terrible.
It costs you to not be a slave. You got to pay to not be a slave.
Well, that's everybody.
Yeah, literally.
But that's everybody. But that's
I paid quite a few thousands of dollars
just to not be no motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, you don't own anything. We can go down that route. We don't own absolutely fucking nothing. They would take the shit from us.
Down to having a driver's license, down to paying for insurance, down to tags and all that
stupid ass fucking tag.
So, and I know I got off on a tangent on that, and I'm just saying the system itself was built upon racism.
Right.
And it has just sophisticated over time.
Yeah.
to include everybody.
Yeah, it's inclusive.
In the bullshit.
I was going to say now, I was going to ask if you did agree that nowadays it just seems that more so as race, it's more like, let me keep you at this, you as in
The
everybody,
people.
the
Mhm.
people. Let me keep you in this bracket
Mhm.
and keep me.
Yes.
us
I
in
think
this
I
bracket.
think that our system isn't. I think now I don't think they're. Which obviously the prison system is still like you said, incarcerating Black people at a higher rate. But I think that the powers that be, I think they're targeting less of, like you're saying. I think it's more like the poor people, like
I think it's
a certain
middle class, bro.
Who represents most of the poor people? The system is still fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to explain. Like,
Yeah.
yo, it's some shit is just black and white.
Yeah.
Some shit just is. Some shit is, you got gray areas everywhere.
Right.
Black and white damn near give you gray sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But some of this shit is just black and white. You just have to be willing to accept the fact that that's what it is. I've accepted it. How do I change it? By doing this. I made a conscious choice to do this podcast. When I came in here with you, I made a very conscious choice. There's another young lady, great young lady by the name of Constance Washington. She has a podcast.
Yeah, I had her on my show.
I think she's fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
I love Constance.
I believe that if I did her podcast and I was slated to go on as a guest host, I believe that if I did it, I would not be making the change that I wanted to make in this world.
Right.
I believe being on your, not that you are better than her or we're better than her. That is not.
It's a different platform. Yeah.
And who am I trying to reach? Who am I trying to speak to? I want to speak to a diverse audience. Not that she doesn't have a diverse audience, but I believe that there comes a little more diversity if you put all of us together.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that we have the perfect setup
I do
for
too.
what this is made to do.
Facts.
You know,
Even though I don't be trying to argue. Me and Joe do a little bit, but I mean, I think that's because you got two people that are standing on something, and
if
our
you
purposes are just
didn't,
different.
this would fucking suck. So
Yeah.
if you didn't,
Yeah.
I like I say at the end of every single week, I say I agree with pretty much everything you're saying. It's just I'm just looking at it differently, and then learning. Shit, I'm learning. Hell, I think about like I've already said, I think about the shit you say to me like during the week.
Yeah.
But I'm always thinking about shit constant. But like,
I try to think about women. You know, women are like, our body or our choice. Men are in charge of what the fuck with a woman's body. You know what I'm saying? How can we really be in charge of their bodies? We are. We make those decisions. Would you want somebody to tell you what to do with your body? I don't want nobody telling me what to do with my body.
Nah.
I don't.
No.
I think that's so. I do believe it should be women's choice. So I'm pro-choice. Not that I agree with what the fuck you doing with your body.
Brother,
But I do
that's what
believe it's
Bill
your
Burr
choice.
said. Bill Burr said it's your choice, but you're killing a baby.
Yeah, like,
that's what Bill Burr had the bit on that.
I'm with you 100% right there. And I do think I'm pro-choice as far as circumstances go. And everybody who is not pro-choice will say, "Well, what are the circumstances?" That's not up for you to decide.
That's not up for you to decide. Yeah, like
and it's not up for you to give your opinion on either. To be honest,
Right?
And I'm not saying you. I'm saying, like if somebody was raped, if somebody,
Right? Yeah, I definitely.
if there was
That's
incest
not
in
the play.
play, if somebody was 12 years old,
How do we?
if
But
somebody was.
let's spice it up again. Let Joe let Joe go down with the ship. Fuck it. I don't care. Let me ask a question, just an honest question. How do we feel about someone being promiscuous, messing around, not being responsible? Bam, we got a baby. Oh shit. Let's get rid of this motherfucker. Like, I mean, really, realistically, how do we feel about that? Are y'all saying it's not for us?
I don't feel about it.
You don't feel about it.
Let me tell you why I don't feel about it. It is not going to affect me one way or the other. Let me tell you something.
If you were the guy in that situation, it wouldn't affect you?
Wait.
Now, if one party okay, let me tell you something.
You're talking about as like the baby daddy perspective?
Yes.
And you want the child and she doesn't want the baby?
Yes.
You listen, I believe some shit is just common sense. He wants to I think there should be common sense laws.
I'm with you.
Now, once you make this common sense decision, Let's move forward. In that instance, ma'am, listen, we are going to have you carry this baby to full term. Once this baby comes out, you have no responsibility towards this child. All responsibility falls upon Joseph Teel. Joseph Teel, you cannot come to this woman and ask her for shit from this baby. For this baby. No. Fuck that. Because and listen, I think in the reverse, ma'am, I don't want this baby.
That you can't ever be there. Yeah, I agree.
Get him the fuck. Listen, I think that's common sense. But now you made the baby, sir. You've got to come with some sort of contribution, some sort of financial. But if she's making the choice, like, yo, I want, just like he's making the choice, I want. But her body changes. Again, this is why the fuck it shouldn't be my choice. Because if I want the child, her body changes. She could die during that.
That's true.
And I got to put her through that just because I want the baby. It's not right.
But doesn't it go back to the beginning of like she risked that just like he risked that when you lay down with a woman? That is, you risk that every time you stick that thing in there, huh? That's to me what I'm saying. My point is that all that responsibility or being scared to have a baby, I don't want to die having a baby. Okay, bitch, close your legs then.
What do you think a Plan B pill is?
Yeah, which I mean, as long I just like if you.
What are you bringing the child into? Again, this is why it's everybody's choice.
Yeah.
Let each individual deal with that.
Yeah.
That's me. Dog, do you want to bring them into a fucked up situation and have fucked up kids? And now because they brought a fucked up kid into this world and taught them fucked up shit, now they fuck up your kids or they fuck up your grandmother?
Yeah,
or they fuck you up.
But kids have come from these stories. Like, what if you
and turned into greatness?
Yeah, exactly.
And then some have turned into fucking killers.
Yeah, but so have people that was born into the best shit ever.
I get it.
Part of the human choice is fucking deciding to not get the fuck out though once you're born. But you can't choose to not be fucking born.
Dog, somebody's gonna choose it for you.
Yeah.
Hey man, somebody's gonna choose it for you.
I like technically I'm pro-choice. For real. But I'm just like I still feel like we should talk about this shit. I feel like having an abortion as a scapegoat for I was careless. I did whatever God. Because if I
just thought of something I read on Facebook the other day. It's horrible.
But do y'all at least see where my mind is? Because I've been real careful throughout this time. So
I have nutted in everybody.
Okay, that's different.
But I also have one ball too.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
But
it's very nice.
Yeah,
hey, dog, thank you, cancer. Thank you, God. Dog.
But let's say you had both of them and you were just nutting recklessly, right? I feel like that's all I'm saying is that let's kill this unborn
23
child.
23 baby mothers. Real bad man.
Real bad man. I feel like it being in it, because people are giving me all these reasons why, and I say, yes, I understand. But some of these reasons, to me personally, I feel like some of these reasons ain't fucking good enough.
So we can give these scenarios. Every scenario can be different. It can have this. This is the circumstance, and this is why. Again, let them fucking choose.
Okay, question. And here's where a lot of people are really fucked up nowadays. How far does that choice go?
Like how far along?
What about the term?
Oh, that late shit. I'm not with that. If you're gonna get rid of it, just fucking get rid of it. And
early on,
you live with that shit forever.
I think you got 1 month to deal with that shit.
1 month.
Well, a lot of people can't. Because it's hard to detect it. It can take them a little bit to realize.
Nah, dog. I say
a lot of people like to say the first trimester.
Yeah. Look, dog. That third month, I'm kind of like. Oh.
I got a 6-month-old, and we watched it from 2 weeks.
That's what I was gonna say.
And whenever you watch it from 2 weeks, you're like, oh, that's my little fucking kidney bean. That's my little peanut. That's my,
Dude, every day she read me what size it was. She had an app.
Yeah, every day.
I went to every doctor's appointment. I didn't miss not one motherfucking sonogram. I paid for the 4K sonogram.
And you can already hear the heartbeat.
I listened to the heartbeat. That shit moved me. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. That little ass heartbeat that was my life changing, and I felt that
And
shit.
that's where people get a lot. That's where it gets really twisted at, because you have people that go from pro-choice to, whoa, now you're killing something. Like, now you're really killing something. You're not neutralizing something that is growing into something eventually, so much as you are. That thing's already got its own beating heart.
I'm just lucky that somebody didn't choose to fucking get rid of my ass. Because I enjoy life. I'm glad I'm on this bitch. And I feel like that even if, because my parents said I was an accident, okay, they could have just said, "Oh, we don't like this accident." And there is no fucking Joe Teel. But that's what I'm saying. I think that you, like we said, there's always, this. I don't think this is a black and white deal. I think this one is definitely a gray one. That's why they can't figure this shit out.
This one's fucked.
This is why, man, listen. The woman should be in charge of her body.
I think she should make a better fucking decision, but she's in charge.
Dog, she should be in charge of her body. That ain't for men to... Dog, it could be so much shit.
But part of our body goes into them when... I mean, because she can't do it by herself.
She cannot.
I think men need to get vasectomies rather than forcing women to take birth control. That is my...
Yeah.
Now, why he can't do that?
Opinion.
Cut your ball off, Joe. I did.
No. The vasectomy is reversible. It's reversible.
Right. No, I'm with you on that.
The birth control can
damage her
completely, like for the rest of her life. It can make her infertile for the rest of her life. It can change their hormones to where they can't be changed back.
I agree with all this. I'm just saying. So my whole point is that it just seemed bad to throw this baby out because you were like not responsible.
He wasn't either. So why we can't make him get a vasectomy? Why we can't put his shit off?
I'm with you. I'm with you. I agree.
But it falls upon the woman typically
to have the actual child. I get that.
It don't fall upon no man. Right. We would never. It ain't never our choice. She gets to tell us what the fuck is going on. She does.
Yeah.
If she decide, listen, and let me tell you something. I've known men that if she take that choice and she gonna have that baby, he gonna take her up on the highest set of stairs and accidentally push this hoe down. I've seen it happen. So do you want it that way?
No, I don't want it that way. I'm saying that like
not a kid comes out with this shit.
Yeah, that's wrong.
And I've seen it. It's in my family right now.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yeah, I think it's circumstantial.
But if I work let's say, if I go through all these steps of my life and I do what's right and like I make sure that the lady I'm with is on the same page as me, that seemed like some responsible shit, correct? Like why, you know what I'm saying? Like what I hear is we were irresponsible. Let's fucking kill this damn baby. But I mean, it may be her choice, and I may say at the end of the day she gets to do that. But if it's not one of these wild circumstances, it just seemed like I don't want this shit. Get rid of that motherfucker. And that to me sounds harsh.
It has been that. That has been a thing before.
Yeah, but it's like,
and it's still a thing. Like I don't want the baby. Get rid of it.
Yeah, which is wild to me.
But how does government go about it?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we all agree. I don't know how to solve that shit.
About it. No, I don't have my foot forward is just
let them
pro-choice.
Yeah.
Pro-choice.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to let them choose, but
and make it circumstantial, going both ways, which means you don't get that choice after a certain period. Also, you don't.
I would raise the fucking. I'm saying what you were saying earlier. Like, let's say I get with a girl and she says she want to get rid of it.
Yeah,
I would do everything in my power to say, please just have this baby. I will take it off your hands.
That's a good move.
But then,
not everybody's.
This baby. Where's my mommy?
Yeah, but
I found her a mommy.
No. That ain't. Listen, we got you. Let me tell you something. There are family members that are so fucked up. My son is adopted. Right. I've been telling my baby since he was old enough to understand, maybe 3 or 4, that he's adopted. Right. He wasn't in mommy's tummy. You were in somebody else's tummy. Whatever.
I think that's good.
Because I have so many friends that are adopted and I never knew they were adopted. But you need to do this. You got so many people, Joe, that if it's that way, what you're talking about, that are going to tell that child in the most fucked up way that that's not their mama in your family. Just because it happens. So now you've created trauma in this child. Now they dislike you. Again, the scenario will never be perfect. It will never be, see, I made it work all the way right. It's not always that way. It's not always. And I'm not saying that it can't work.
Are we saying that growing up with trauma is worse than not existing?
Mm-hmm.
That's worse? I would rather... Okay, well, then that means life is pointless.
No,
if trauma makes life... If trauma it can be worse than not being here at all, then life is absolutely fucking pointless.
It's circumstantial.
Yeah, like, I think that, man, some people's trauma torments them, and it's not their fault.
Right.
My trauma so that person, made me. I think your trauma made you. Hell, I'm sure your trauma made you. But he's just saying there's some people who are a literal detriment to society for all time. Like there is no upside specifically because of the traumatic circumstances. I agree with you in a sense of shit. Toss them into life and see how they do. But then you got to deal with the consequences of having some really fucked up people who are not going to get better.
People that's getting trauma from other reasons. That's what I'm saying. Better. But it's like we say, like, is there a trauma like scale? Like you could be born into riches and it could be some fucked up ass trauma you come into though.
That's right.
But you have to be born first.
You gotta be. You
can't have trauma and not exist.
But let me tell you, there are people that choose not to have kids just so that they won't. And if you're a biblical person, it says to populate, reproduce. There are people that just choose. I ain't fucking with no kids.
It's a lot of people doing that nowadays. Yeah. That's a big thing nowadays.
I heard a Catholic man tell me, "You wear condoms?" I was like, "Yes, sir." He said, "You're a baby killer." What the fuck? Like. No, seriously, I'm like, brother, I thought that was the safe thing to do. You got people that just feel how they feel. Again, this is why I'm 100% pro-choice. That's your decision, man.
Right.
You live with that shit. And if the child don't live with it, that's on y'all. I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make this choice. Everybody, my son is adopted because the girl didn't make the choice to abort him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And thank God.
Yeah, but whoa. My son lives with a cruel disease that will kill him at an early age.
But is his life not, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
His life is, that doesn't, you don't think his life is worth it?
I'm not saying his life ain't worth it. It's definitely fucking worth it.
Yeah,
It's cruel to watch your child lose mobility in his limbs, not be able to walk, have other people talk about him at school. How fucked up that is?
Yeah, that's incredibly wrong.
Mm-hmm. But had she aborted him, we wouldn't even have none of this shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you wouldn't have those experiences you have with him. He wouldn't have those experiences with you.
It's cruel.
But we're all going to die.
It's cruel for a child.
Right. And I'm not disagreeing.
That's cruel. It's fucking cruel. You don't know the pain of walking into a room, seeing your son Google how to beat this fucked up disease. Painful.
Yeah.
Not that I want it to be the other way. I'm certainly not wishing that this girl aborted my baby. No, that ain't what I'm wishing. Nowhere close to that.
Right.
My baby, I want him here. It's still fucking cruel.
Are your thoughts for future instances and other situations, people that have not met their child yet, it may be better.
Let them go.
That's what I think.
Let them go. Send them back before they get here. You don't know. She didn't know that my baby was gonna be like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cruel that as a child, and I'm gonna try not to cry. My son asked me, "Daddy, were you scared to turn 18?" Why would I be scared to turn 18? You wanna know why? Because his fucking disease kills him in his late teens to early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck do you do with that?
No.
What the fuck do you do with that? How the fuck as a man, ain't no book on parenthood for that shit.
Right.
Ain't got no goddamn support group. Pro-choice. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. You don't know what you stopping them from. Like, I've made great memories with my baby, and I'm going to keep making them.
Yeah. You wouldn't take it back.
Fuck.
Right. Yeah.
I would not even close.
Yeah, I would say...
I hate it for him.
Yeah. Definitely.
I hate it for him. It's fucked up. That's why I was showing you my phone. Toby was like, man, I didn't even know he was in a wheelchair now. Yeah. So I don't mean to be so sentimental or whatever.
No, I understand.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad you're sharing your points, for sure.
No, you're good. And I think, to be honest, we're all pro-choice here. So
I think that's what I'm saying. I just wanted to make better decisions.
It's crazy that we
I just don't want them to get rid of it. I mean, unless it is just like the most dire situations. I just don't want people to just throw them out for no reason. That's what really hurts my soul. I think it hurts me because, like you said, it's not my choice. It's not my body. I'm with that. I agree. Mm-hmm. But like, I think that like, as cruel as it is, the beautiful, like there's some beautifulness to how cruel your situations that you're describing is that, you know, even with all this universe and all this shit out there and all this time that's passed and every human that's walked this fucking earth, you got this time with him and you got to make that shit special.
But it's purpose-filled.
Yeah, you know? It's purpose-filled. But
it may be purpose-filled for me, but how cruel is it for the other person?
Right. But I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive, so I'm saying that forward. But I think life is dangerous in nature, right? Life is in life.
You are destined to fall.
Yes, and we all will die, and I don't care what kind of shit they got cooking up. It's all going to happen, and I think that obviously there's definitely crueler things that can happen to you, but I think that is just a part of what it is to be alive.
But we live with knowing that we're going to die. Mm-hmm. But we don't live with knowing if it's tomorrow.
Right.
Or believing that it's coming up soon, unless you're on death row. He's sitting on death row.
I couldn't imagine.
That's so terrible. I mean...
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, all 100%. The beautiful shit in life, great. Motherfucker, I'm on borrowed time. We all know we're on borrowed time,
right?
But you think that you at least got another 15 year at least.
Yeah, they say it'd be one of the biggest curses to know whenever you're going to go.
Hey, dog. And it's documented that his shit don't go beyond this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And I mean, what do you?
And I agree.
What do you want to do? Give hope? That's like the
man.
Yeah.
I've been the hope giver for so long.
I think what you'll do, what you're already doing, is you'll find the beautiful median in between hope and reality that you need.
That's the space that I'm living in right now.
I think that's where you're at. And that's where you'll maintain until the time comes that it has to be different.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, I went to visit him recently. Lives in Houston, and I fucking cried literally from the time I dropped him off at home, which was about 11:30, 12 o'clock on 11:30 on a Sunday, until 2 a.m. It was like 11:30 a.m. I cried until 2 a.m. Like literally, because I see his body declining.
Yeah.
I do live in between, the hope and reality. I've made my peace. It don't mean it don't hurt.
Right.
I made my peace with it. And all I'm saying about that is, damn, what if she would have made another choice? He wouldn't have had to suffer the way that he's suffering. I'm so glad he's here. I hope that he's the first motherfucker to beat it.
Yeah.
That's living in between hope and reality. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But goddamn. Which is why I try to treat people a certain way. I don't know what somebody else is living with, the grief that they're living with, the pain that they're living with. This is something that you guys would have never known about me unless we had this conversation.
I was about to say, I'm glad I'm glad you brought this up. These are things that people do not talk about, they don't discuss. And think of how many people there are out there dealing with similar situations that could probably use some insight on it, because they're sitting there wondering, what the fuck do I do right now?
So think about it. I divorced his mom before ever knowing that he had this disease, right? We didn't know until 2018. I found out on March the 12th, 2018 that he had this disease. I feel for her more than I do me. And I know she doesn't like me. But I feel for her way more than I do me. She's got to deal with it every day. And here I am, FaceTime dad. Hey, bud, how you doing? But we FaceTime every day.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got to see the decline every day. That's why I don't get mad at her whenever I go to pick him up and she's like, you do it. everything that when I'm around, she's like, yeah, you get in there. You put his chair, get his chair, fix the... And I'm like, lady, I understand. You want me to feel what you're feeling. Right. Yeah. Hurtful thing for a parent to go through.
Yeah. To tie everything back in, I think a lot of this shit is like conversations help. Sometimes we just can't understand. We cannot feel this shit. Like I have my 2 kids and like I can't imagine. And like even some of the traumas of my life have made me callous. And I think that sometimes I don't feel shit as heavy as I should feel it. And that's just my own way of coping with shit. And so
I think my dad was the same way.
Yeah. And it's so hard to, I don't know, like...
You'll soften up over time.
Yeah. Like my kids have made me soften up 100%. But like you described this to me, and I think about my kids and I just can't explain it. And it's just like, I can't help but feel like in the same way that's kind of similar, like even how the racism discussion goes, like you can describe this shit to me and I can only just, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying.
Here's what, I totally get what you're saying. Here's where I'll speak from the perspective of some Black people. I will not blanket and say all. Here's where some Black people who are pro-choice, these are conversations that we have in private. Those people that hate to see loss of life, do they feel that way every time a cop shoots an unarmed Black person? Does their heart hurt? Does their heart bleed every time somebody was unjustly taken from us? Does their heart bleed for those people? Because if it doesn't, they should shut the fuck up.
I will say my heart bleeds when I see that shit.
Yeah.
And no, not everybody's like that. I know some people just throw it out the fucking window, or you can read it in the fucking comments, man. Read it in the comments.
That listen, the comment section.
Well, they're probably on drugs.
I fucking hate the comment section.
It's or look what they're doing to each other. That's like the comment I hate the most. I hate that one.
Oh my God!
It's like we're not doing anything you're not doing anything.
Oh God, that one, yeah.
That's like the worst one that I see. That I'm like, damn.
And you see it so much, but you know, as a Christian man, and I understand that I don't always exemplify the Christian ways as people would like to say, but I like to think that Jesus taught us to stay out of the comment section.
Smart.
As Jesus was headed up to Calvary to be crucified, he had the cross on his back, the thorns on his head, and people were saying all types of horrible shit to him, and he never replied.
He had a comment section.
The whole
way.
Yeah. Stay the fuck out of the comment section.
Oh yeah,
I live like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stay out of the comment section.
I don't even reply to people on my post all the time. If you look at when y'all reply to something, I'm out of the comment section because Jesus wasn't in it.
I turned my comments and likes off, man, because I know you fucking know it from your posts, but I just had to. Like if I
they be going in on me sometimes.
Do that.
But I post all the time. But I don't take none of that shit to heart.
Well, me, I just try not to be too high on shit or too, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it can go either way. It can go all in your favor and it can go against you. So whether it's for me or against me, I stay out of the comment section. Like, it doesn't matter. I got a lady right now who just asked me, I said, stay tuned for details. In the comments, she went, what are the details? And I went, I'm not going to even reply. And I love her. But
you got to stay tuned, lady.
You got to stay. I already addressed it. But in saying that, I know some people monetize, so that's why they're commenting back or whatever.
That's
more interaction on a post.
Yeah, that's
right?
why
I'm with it. But for me, as far as negativity is concerned, that's what I'm really referring to.
Oh yeah, fuck Jesus. Fuck
taught
negativity.
us to stay out of the comment section because he could have very easily heard and listened to all the comments.
And the negativity will be there every time.
Oh, guaranteed.
My leaving thought is whenever it comes to politics, religion, or any other thing that you can possibly find to argue about, beating up animals, I think what you should do before you argue is find common ground. Common ground with the other individual. Whenever you meet somebody on the street.
Blame the CIA, because that's kind of what
that too.
You won't blame the CIA. I didn't say that.
Easy scapegoat.
CIA.
You can find common ground with somebody and be able to call them a friend in that sense, then you could probably take their political or religious or whatever views and just be okay with it.
Yep.
You know?
Gotta be a grown-up.
Whenever you pull up on somebody and the first thing you throw at them or get thrown at you is your political views or how you feel about abortion, it's probably a lot easier to say fuck you than a friend that you've had for a while.
Good Lord. Facts. I agree.
That's just my thoughts from the last show to this one, is what I found out. It's like, there's not anything that you or even you, even though we just met, there's nothing that you could really say to me as far as your values and morals go, that I'm going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Yeah. Because I have so much in common with you already that even if I don't understand what you say, I can be okay with it. You know, unless it's like, I mean, I just really like killing people, you know?
I feel you. I try to speak in a manner in which it would make you feel that way.
I think that's what people should reach for.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Agreed.
That's all I got to say for that.
I enjoyed it. We did some good topics today.
You banger, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking banger.
I wish more people watched us. I wish that they would really learn from us. And just watch how we interact.
We have to put it out there. And part of it's, we just like...
We know I've been slacking. Me and Joe have already had this discussion.
But y'all been slacking because this SoundCloud shit y'all got out there, see, y'all ain't been on y'all shit. Now, fuck all that. Y'all both ain't been on y'all shit.
We do got SoundCloud just sitting over there.
It's a banger. Dog, and I'm not even just saying it because they right here. No, it's dope. The hook, fire.
I have a whole album that I didn't put out. Well, I have like several now because I haven't been releasing music since 2020.
I don't want to talk to the asses no more. I don't want to talk to them no more.
But you working?
Yeah.
You're working? You still hustling
yeah, but it's
up?
just like I don't... Like I'm just head deep into podcasting right now. I really feel like I can do this. I really feel like I've got around people that can do this shit with me.
You're doing it already.
I feel like that you can only... Not that you can only be great at one thing, but you can only because I still have a whole other business I have to run. I only have so extra resources that I could just throw at shit. You know what I'm saying? And so it got to a point where it's like music or podcasting. And it's like, I think this is the path I should take. Now I would love to write for somebody. I'd like to write for somebody because I can write.
As far as music?
Yeah, I could do that.
You can always ghostwrite.
Because I still have somebody, I have like 2 people left that I still write for.
I just wrote for the Steve Harvey morning show that'll be on in the morning.
Steve?
Like, dog, I do this all the time.
Yeah. I would like to do that. I don't want to be like a rapper that's like out there or nothing. I'd like to write for people behind the scenes because then I can still because this is where I'm putting my face forward, you know?
No, I feel you. Writing is a very lucrative part of this business because there are some people that are stars. And I think some of the people that are behind the scenes had tried to say, Derrick, you're not a star, but we love all the shit that you have to say. Give it to the stars that we've decided are stars. And I'm like, fuck out of here. I get them some, but bitch, I got some over here too.
Yeah, for me,
I'm still rocking. Yeah.
And they still got to pay you for that.
Yeah, they do.
Come on with some bread.
They pay for it, but it's not in perpetuity. Like my thoughts go into your head and into your set. You get to use that forever. Just like the stuff I did for the Steve Harvey Morning Show. It's just, I gave pointers on the strawberry letter. There's this letter they call the strawberry letter where it's some guy writes in some fucked up shit. And I had to make the response to it funny.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Like, just, it's yeah.
But, I mean, that's your art form. And you're getting it out there.
Yeah. It is. I'm going to keep shocking y'all every week with somebody that I fucking know.
Please do.
Yeah, let's do it every week.
I'm actually glad Toby didn't answer the phone. Because
it would have fucked you up.
It put me in a bind. I'd have had to go to the restroom after.
I gotta go.
Catch my breath.
I'm going to try to do that to y'all all the time.
That's fine with us. Man.
Bring it.
Yeah.
I want it.
Wait till Brad Pitt answers the phone.
Oh, shit.
Brad.
Not Brad.
You mean Dad?
Dad Pitt?
It's my father.
You wanna bet?
That's really my father. I don't.
All right, next time
he owes a lot of child support.
Next time I'm in his house, I'm gonna call.
Please do. Tell him I have nicer hair than him in
hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
World War Z and as Achilles. I got him beat in both.
Oh, you do not have him beat in Achilles in Troy.
Oh yeah.
I'm such a Troy fan.
He was only shoulder length, you know.
Don't do that. I love him. I'll fight you right now. Achilles.
Now all the rest of me, that ain't.
He got you.
He got me there.
But the hair?
The hair, he's gonna have to talk to Thor about that one.
I got you, Doug.
No, I enjoyed it, y'all. Let's put a ribbon on this one, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in for the channel, Addicted to Arguing Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, do all that cool shit. It helps us out. And we're going to, I feel like here shortly, we're going to really start focusing on getting the brand right and pushing it. Because right now we're just making episodes and it's going to take a coordinated effort. I'm kind of like, I'm pushing my podcast like super hard. And it's like, I almost don't have enough resources in me, so like I know we got to come up with some shit.
Joe, I'm gonna step it up, man. I'm gonna step it up.
Hey, listen, I'm glad that you guys were saying push it real hard. I have a show next Wednesday in Dallas with Spinderella.
There you go.
There
you go.
I'm everything.
I'm trying to think. Who do I know?
We're next.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on.
We on
Y'all
the way,
be blessed. Thank y'all for tapping in, man.